Got some big, heavy news to talk about today, but also a quick reminder: subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Get the nickname "Man of the People" because I love working for fans, my viewers. So if you have questions for players, coaches, me, I'm the guy. So hit that subscribe button. Help me get to that 5,000 subscriber list that I'm desperately trying to get to before the start of the regular season, which is about 2 weeks away. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the big news for today. Our second biggest news of the off-season training camp process, if you will. Baker Mayfield being acquired was the first one, and now the second one being that of another quarterback in which we drafted this year. You know what? Gonna let Coach Rule say it best.
First, with the bad news, Matt Corral tore his Liz Frank ligament. So they're exploring the possibilities right now and the options with the best doctors across the country, and but it should be a significant injury. I really don't have anything else of note other than that.
So that is the bad news for now. Quarterback Matt Corral up in Foxborough playing against New England Patriots last night in the fourth quarter suffered an injury where someone stepped on his foot. Who was it? Was it a Panther player? Was it a Patriots player? Coach Rule doesn't know, didn't really care to say that was the most important thing other than saying, his heart goes out to Matt Corral and and his season, doesn't know how much time that he's going to miss, but says that it's going to be a significant injury for him. And yeah, this has to be a pretty, it's not a short-term setback, but it's a mid-term, long-term setback for this Carolina Panthers team, because one thing, if there could be any good in this, I want to try to be careful with my words here because we're talking about a guy who's injured, rookie in the NFL, has high hopes and determination. One thing about this happening this late is the Carolina Panthers don't immediately have to do any changes because most of the training camp period where you need to go, you need all those quarterbacks have passed. But they're going to be making a decision pretty soon about the direction that they're going to go with the quarterback room. Initially it was going to be everyone, including myself, felt like we would have Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Matt Corral as our three quarterbacks that we would keep going into the regular season. And quite possibly some felt that PJ Walker, excuse me, might be on that practice squad. So, this does go to say what's going to happen with that quarterback position. And I think I got another clip that I'm going to play for you here in a second. Let me go ahead and play this clip for you right here.
But I know Matt's a battler, and so this year of development, he's just going to have to grind, both taking care of his foot and all the things he needs to do as a quarterback. So hopefully, hopefully someday he'll look back and say it was a blessing. But I hate it for him right now. I saw him getting off the plane. It was really kind of a cool thing. J.J. Jansen and Heck, they both sit up in first class and gave both their seats to Corral and Spencer Brown. Those guys are loved by their teammates, and I just hate it for him. But hopefully we'll get it taken care of the right way, and then just start that process.
So there was Matt Corral really speaking further about the fact that Matt's probably going to miss significant time, and whether it's half the season, probably going ahead be the full season, he's not going to get the physical reps. He's not going to be able to be out there on the field going through his man, I'm at a loss of words, his progressions on his wide receivers, and he's going to have to resort to his rookie season being just getting a lot of mental reps, getting a lot of film study. Now, it doesn't mean that all is lost, because still that's a lot of stuff that it's a lot of mental stuff that quarterbacks have to possess and have to be good at to succeed at the NFL level that Matt needs to pick up on, that he did not have to do at Ole Miss. So I feel for Matt Corral, this is one of those things because he's a guy that we are excited about his mechanics, how he throws the ball, how his footwork is, and all these things, that he's really a good quarterback mechanically. And, I always like to try to look at the cup half full. This could be a really good time for him to get that extra cerebral stuff in that makes quarterbacks so good. All the film work, everyone went crazy about the the Kyler Murray contract and them requiring him to have so much film study. I haven't been around Matt Corral forever, but I have been around him several times, and he is a guy that really wants to succeed, a guy that really wants to work hard. There was comments that he made about maybe taking that easy route when he went to college and not choosing to go to a place where it would have been a more difficult route where he had to be challenged. And now he sees the benefit of that. And if you look at that mentality about a guy, said, now that I'm here and I've seen some things and I'm growing, I know that being challenged is a good thing in order to bring out the best in you. Well, look at this challenge of now having that person with that kind of mentality, that kind of drive, not going to be on the field, but having that opportunity to become a film room junkie, have the opportunity to become a Baker Mayfield if he's a starting quarterback, or whichever quarterback is start. Have a junkie and just study them, and you already have all the other physical things to do. It's unfortunate, but I believe that Matt's a guy that could bring out a positive in all this. So what I haven't done yet is check on the comments. Let me certainly go ahead and check on these comments. What's going on, Ali? What's going on, Kel? Why Big Jordan? What's going on? Why Big Jordan is a gut check, Chris. All my zeal is gone. Yeah. What's up, Kelly? Thank you for all that I do. Hey, I've been telling you guys, I'm asking for your subscribers. I'm asking for you to spread the word. I'm asking for you to hit the like buttons. And not just because I want this channel to grow, but if it grows, I can do more for you all. And I promise that this year, every time there's a practice, every time there's news, you can count on Charlotte Vibe going live and not only bring you the news, but taking questions. So all to say, I really appreciate your comments there. All right. Just a few more comments. What's up, AJ Lindsay? A few other things. So Mac Rule wouldn't comment on the oh yeah, I'll go ahead and put up this comment. This happened to Cam in the same field in 2019, 3 days removed from the day. Yeah. So that was brought up today, and Coach Rule didn't, if it was a turf, it's kind of like one of those things, like if it was a turf, it's not like you can make New England change their field and go to grass. Bank of America Stadium went to turf. Everybody goes to turf for the business purposes. Turf is a whole lot better than it used to be. I mean, tons better, but it still isn't a flawless thing that is as good as grass. And players prefer playing on grass. Of course, the fast guys like turf, and because they can run faster. But nevertheless, oh, here's a good comment. For Golden Corral, I'm using him in my franchise mode. He'll be on our franchise one way or another. Donald Duck. Pretty cool comment. But Coach Rule wouldn't comment about exactly what the quarterback situation would look like, other than say, yeah, they did want to have 3. He made a comment, and I can't remember it verbatim, but just letting you know, my feelings is he said something like have the best, which to me doesn't say, and this is me just trying to read a lot into it and also being quite honest, I don't want PJ Walker to continue to be on this team. Again, not a reflection of PJ Walker as a person, but PJ Walker as a player, he struggles. He struggles, and he struggles with the same thing. It's why I've grown, weary and tired of Sam Darnold at quarterback, even though he's only been here a year. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So I feel like let's get a new guy in here, and he'll have his time to run with the practice squad. Run with the man. I'm at a big loss for words today, but whatever it's called when they're simulating the other team, I forget what that's called. But this third string quarterback will have time to learn the playbook. There's been talk that Ben McAdoo's offense is complicated. So the third guy, you have time. Go ahead and keep Sam on the roster. I don't think Sam was going to be moved anyway, unless something like this, when I say something like this, meaning a quarterback gets hurt on a team that Sam was going to have any value whatsoever anyway, because he's had so many bad years. But my opinion of who that third quarterback could be is I don't want it to be PJ Walker. I want it to be somebody else that brings you a little bit more optimism about what you're going to see, what you're going to get, or at least, as we all like to say, managing the game type of capabilities that I feel like PJ Walker just doesn't have. Even if you said we're going to use his legs and use other things, you're still going to have PJ Walker throw the ball at some point. And when you do, PJ Walker is going to look for that home run ball. I mean, he's done it. Man, what did he do against Arizona? I forget. Oh, man, it slips my mind. But basically, PJ Walker, even though he might not throw the ball a lot, he'll still go to do something where you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, I know against the Commanders last week, he threw a ball when he could have taken 2 more steps and had a first down on the 4th and 1, but he tries to throw the ball into a small window, doesn't make the completion. We turn over on downs. It's like, come on. I just don't like his decision-making at this level and feel like, another team can go ahead and give him a shot. But I think we should be done with PJ Walker. You doubling down on this channel, Chris. Independent media, yes, I appreciate it. Independent media, I will continue to work pretty hard for you all. And now that they're back in Charlotte, got some more interviews with players and coaches lined up for you all. In other news, and I'm just going to go over my notes here. Shaq Thompson was activated off the physically unable to perform list. Man, I'm telling you, I spent a good amount of time before this video looking up information so I could talk greatly about the physically unable to perform list. I can't. What I can tell you is that it's something that's used mostly in the off season before, during OTAs and training camp. Means that a guy can't practice. He still counts as part of your 90-man roster. Once you take him off the PUP list, aka the physically unable to perform list, then you can't put him back on there. But once you take him off, he can now practice. So when he's on the physically unable to perform, he can be around the team. He can be at practice. He can use the facilities, but he cannot actually practice. Now this means Shaq Thompson can practice, and he has a couple of weeks before he can be activated for a game. So that happened today for Shaq Thompson. Coach, and talking about having a chance to review that film from yesterday's game against New England, he said, I don't like to talk about who's going to make this team. I don't like to do that. And that's not what this is going to be about. But he went to give Stanley Thomas Oliver his flowers. He spoke very highly of Stanley Thomas Oliver, also known as STO, in case you hear that out there. But he says this guy is an exceptional special teams guy, plays gunner, plays all the positions on, various special teams, and he does them extremely well. And yeah, he still wants to be a quarterback, but he's not a guy that's kind of like short, not focused on special teams because he really wants to be a cornerback. He's a guy that's focusing on, okay, my job is I'm making this team as a special teams. I'm going to be the best at special teams. And then as I get more opportunities at cornerback, then I'll focus on that cornerback stuff. So he said that Stanley Thomas Oliver is certainly a guy that will be making this roster. And as he is right now, he wants Stanley Thomas Oliver on any team that he's coaching. What else I got for you? Did you hear about the comment he made at Terrence Marshall told him to step up? Donald Duck, tell me a little bit more about your question, and I'll certainly go to address it. Vegas, you love the show. Keep up the great work. I absolutely will. I absolutely will. Continue to have like more video, more photos, and all that stuff for you all. Because I know it's, it makes it more entertaining. But so Stanley Thomas Oliver was someone he talked highly about. A few updates on the injuries. Barno has a hamstring, and they're going to play that slowly with getting Barno back up to date. Spencer Brown, he's going to be week to week for this team. Joey, did you miss the start of the show, Joey? I hope you didn't. You got to make the whole show, man. Hey, Joey is a member of C3 Podcast. If you haven't checked him out, be sure to check him out. Just checking a few of my other notes and giving you all a chance to. Oh, you caught the show from the top, Joey. Appreciate it, Joey. As you guys see, I'm in the new house. Got some of the lights and stuff up. I kind of like this look. I want to add like one more piece of something right over there. But nevertheless, I'm going to stay focused on talking about this game. See if I had. Okay. Coach Rule did not want to talk about who his starting quarterback would be. He also did not want to name his starters for this final preseason game against the Buffalo Bills. But he did say this. He did say most of his starters will play, if not all. He's not going to start getting timid about what guys playing because Matt Corral got injured. He said, this is football, so injuries are just part of the game, and he knows that. That's why previous to Matt getting out, being hurt, he said, hey, there's not many NFL teams that go through a whole schedule and the number 2 quarterback doesn't have to get any action. So he knows that the quarterback competition between Baker and Sam is what we all want to talk about and what we all are looking at. But as a head coach, he's looking at not only just who wins that battle, but who's number 2, who's number 3, because that guy is probably going to have to play at some point. So he wants to see everybody continue to develop and work out. Let's see. All right, so here's a question here. The press conference after the game yesterday, he said that Terrace Marshall Jr. has to step up. Could be a sign that he might get cut if he doesn't start producing. So let me comment on it. Locksman said can't hear none. I'm assuming that you guys can hear me. Is he saying? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that everything was going. Yeah, all my levels look good, so I'm just going to keep on talking here. But so Donald Duck, he did not say that Terrace Marshall Jr. needs to step up. He's saying that Terrace Marshall Jr. needs to stay healthy. He's not been healthy, which means he's not been able to get on the field, which means he's not able to get reps, which means he's not able to progress. And he's been dealing with some injuries. A lot of these receivers have actually, but Marshall dealt with some last year. That was a question for Marshall coming out of LSU as well. Some of the injuries that he's had. And he's just saying that Terrace Marshall Jr. needs to get healthy so that he can be out on the field. It was not you need to step up as in start producing because, he believes in Terrace Marshall and wants him on the field. So hopefully that clears up what you heard from that press conference the other day. And hey, I like this. Highly unlikely, extremely unlikely, unless, they have a Baker Mayfield type situation out in Baltimore. But, hey, man, Carolina Panthers sign Lamar Jackson, that would be awesome. Would be awesome. Turn up your mic, Locks. Hey, if nobody else has said my mic is low, then I'm going to have to say you got to turn up your volume. Even though I love you, Locks, and then you're probably going to kill me in the comments now. Hey, Blonded Vegas said I sound great. Come on, Locks. Fix your stuff, man. Fix your stuff. I hate that for Matt Corral. I've seen a lot of good things. Yeah, just in hating that, like one thing that I try to expose for players is allow fans to get to know them a little bit more than just a person. And that comes to mind. I got a story that I want to do. I need to figure out how I want to get it together. And I'm running out of time to do it. But I love trying to expose players as more than just number 9, let you know who they are, let you know their story. And like a lot of these guys have some great stories. And even if you just don't know Matt Corral's story, and just know that he's a player that was drafted as a quarterback in the NFL. Who hasn't dreamed, if you like the sport and play the sport, of being drafted by the NFL and being at the quarterback position? And you're learning. you see Baker Mayfield gets drafted, like, okay, maybe I'm not going to get to compete for that position, but I still want to. I still want to be like the Russell Wilson and just make them have to make a decision between what they thought they may be doing and putting me in the starter position. And then you get hurt. Not only are you hurt, but you're hurt, didn't get to play even one game. I won't say at least as in one's better than the other, but J.C. Horn had a chance to play a few games last year, and then he had his unfortunate injury with his foot, and he was out. Matt did not even get to play one regular season game. So, yeah, you feel, your heart goes out to Matt Corral in that regards. When is Rule announcing the starters? He's not willing to talk about when he's announcing the starters for this week. He really wants to spend today just talking about recapping yesterday and talking about Matt Corral's injury. I'm pretty certain on Monday things are going to start to come more to fruition in terms of the starters that he'll have. Donald Duck, hey, I'm here for you. Man of the people. Cody gave me that nickname. Cody, I haven't seen you on the broadcast in a while, but I appreciate that nickname. I take it with a lot of pride, so I'm here to answer questions. Appreciate you. Matt was never going to play this year, spend the year on IR, prepare for next year. Look at here. A $5 super chat donation from my good buddy Bodrick. And hey, just a quick note to say all these donations help tremendously. As an independent media, it's cool because I get to do a lot of things that others can't. But I also have to rely on your contributions because I don't have any sponsors. You see no advertisements. You see no commercials. You don't see me having to say this is I don't want to make any fun of anybody, but because having sponsorship would be great, but I don't. I rely on you guys. So anytime that you're able to do a contribution, whether it's $1, $5, whatever it is, I appreciate it and I thank you very much. And hey, an easy way to support the channel if you don't want to do anything monetary, just hit the like button. That helps other Panthers fans find out about me and what I do. So appreciate you very much there. Thank you, sir. Hey, Chris, I went to the game last night. Any thought of Cade Mays overtaking Pat Elflein for the starting center position while Bozeman is out? Thought Matt played well. Give me just a second to digest that question there. Thought Matt played well. I don't understand your last part of your comment where you said thought Matt played well. But Cade Mays overtaken Pat Elflein. So one thing for me is for the linemen, I always have to go back and watch tape a lot to look at those guys because they're just so garbled in there. And I have not done that yet for the game yesterday. But this is what I can say about Cade Mays. Dude is big. I think it was Dave Gettleman that talked about the term hog mollies. And, Taylor Moton's pretty good guy for us, pretty big guy and pretty good guy. Akeem Ekwonu, big guy, pretty athletic, good guy as well. Cade Mays has those attributes as well as a big guy, athletic, and he can play actually all the positions across all 5 positions, center, guard, tackle, both sides of the ball. And, Jordan is a guy that can play center as well, but I would say don't count Cade Mays out as being able to be someone that could compete at that position. He's certainly hungry to get a position on this team, has some athletic abilities. So good question. I say don't count him out. I know that was a long response. I want to think through it all. I like it. Hey, you can ask as many questions. Well, kind of could ask as many questions as you want. I'm probably going to get off here in about 5 minutes. But last question, will starters play more in this third game? Or yeah, starters are definitely going to play. So in terms of how much they're going to play, I don't know. I would think that you want to get each one of these guys a full quarter, Sam and Baker. Third string quarterback at this point, PJ Walker would get the whole second half. Hasn't come out yet, but that's what I'm thinking. A quarter for each Baker and Sam, and a half for PJ Walker. Yeah, do what he says. Smash the like button. All right, let me check out this comment here. Also, a lot of hate. Hey, let me try something here. Let me see what you guys think of this. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. You like the music? I might need to come up with some background music. So hey, if any creators out there has their own music, I can play background music. And I think sometimes I have longer shows where I'm just answering questions. Maybe you could have some background music in there at some point. Or maybe I'll get sound effects, right? Yeah, I think I need sound effects. Anyway, let me go ahead and read this question. Stay focused. A lot of hate for Deontay Brown on the Matt Corral play he was hurt on, but he actually got his left foot stepped on by the center during his back pedal and being bull rushed by the defensive tackle. Yeah, I mean, stuff like, if a guy's foot gets stepped on during football, it's just unfortunate. You can't call any other person an idiot unless it was like immediately as he steps back. It's just stuff that happens. It's just stuff that happens. Oh, you said Mays played well? Let me go back to your question, I think. Oh, you thought Mays, okay. So yeah, that was just earlier talking about this question here. Kate Mays over Pat Eflin. You thought that Mays played well. Okay, I understand. I appreciate you clarifying that for me. You like the music? We'll try it out a little bit. Don't like seeing any player getting hurt? Yeah, definitely don't like to see that. All right. I hear my son downstairs. I don't think he's made an appearance in a while. Let me see if I can grab my guy, then I'm going to get off here. You know me, I like to be personal. Let me see if I can get my wife to bring him up for a second. Hold on for a second. He's making all this noise. This is bonus coverage for all you that are still watching the broadcast. I'm coming. For everybody that can listen. Look at this guy. He's probably going to start reaching for the equipment. Look at this guy. Come on, man, stand up. You know I love my family. We'll get the wife to come on real quick, but look at him making the face. Hold on. You're gonna sit up so people can see you? There we go. Some family love right there. Bring the little guy on for the last few minutes of the show. Let's see. Don't jump off here. Let's see. Some people said, what's his name? His name is Cyrus Jenkins. Bet he's grown. You haven't seen this guy in a while. So this thing that's on his thumb, he's a thumb sucker. So we're trying not to get him to stop sucking his thumb. But we might have a lineman here. Look at these legs still. We let us show off his legs. Look at them things, man. He's a heavy He's a heavy guy. And currently, he is in the 98th percentile for height and weight. He's a heavy guy. He's eating a lot, and this is his bedtime. So, hey, that'll be it for tonight. He did good. He didn't grab all my equipment. Chris Jenkins, along with the other CJ, Cyrus Jenkins, reporting for Charlotte Vibe. Are you going to dance? He's going to dance. Reporting for Charlotte Vibe. The Carolina Panthers will be off tomorrow. So unless there's some breaking news of something, expect to not hear from me tomorrow. Panthers will return to the field on Monday. So again, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, but expect to hear from me on Monday. And anytime there's news, I will certainly make sure I bring it to you. Thanks everybody for watching, and enjoy your Saturday night.